So hello everyone. So today we are solving this problem BFS bid first search. Bid first search. So in this question we have given a undirected graph in an adjacency list. So for example we have this kind of pattern that 0 index is mapping with 2 comma 3 comma 1 and 1 is mapped with 0 and then 2 is mapped with 0 comma 4, 3 is mapped with 0 and the 4 is mapped with 2. We have to find the we have to return a simple array of adjacency list of all the nodes. Okay, so what is breadth first search? So consider this something like we have, so first of all, undirected graph like this 0. It is already given here, so we can take example from here itself. 2 4 3 and 1. Okay, so to solve this question, we will do first, we will create a visited array. Okay, so whenever we visit any node, we'll mark it as true. So whenever again in our code, in any case, if we try to visit it again, we will first check this array. Is this node visited or not? If it is visited already, then we will just skip this one. Okay, so we have this visited array 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, next we have this queue. We have this queue. So for breadth first search, we have to implement a queue. We have to use a queue data structure. Okay, and next is our result. Next is our result array, which we have to return it. Okay, so let's start iterating the value. First, let's visit. We will put a 0. So in breadth first search, we always start with any particular value. So currently, we already have the array 0. Our array starting from 0 index. So we'll start from here 0. We'll mark it as true. Okay, and we will put 0 over here. Got it? Now let's start iterating the value. We will take it is q. Okay, now pull this 0 out, take this 0 out and put it here. Now we will put check the its adjacent node. So it has 2 3 and 1. Okay, so we will put the value here. 2 mark it as true, 3 mark it as true, and 1 mark it as true. So all these nodes are visited. Now pull the 2 out and put its adjacent value or adjacent nodes. So it has first it has 0, but we already visited this 0. So we'll move to check for 4. We will check for 4 and it is not visited yet. So we'll put the 4 here and mark it as true. Okay, so now after pulling 2 out, we'll put it here. Then we will take the 3 out. Take the 3 out. It is already visited here, as we can see here. So we'll put it here only. Then we will pull the 1 out. It is again already visited, so we'll put it here again and pull the 4 out. It is already visited, so we'll put it here. So 0 2 3 1 4, which is our answer. Okay, so now let's start writing this. Let's try to write this in code. So let's apply same logic here as well. So we have vertex of len of adjacency list. Okay, then we will take our visited, just like we created in our diagram. Visited, mark every vertex as a false, multiplied by 5. We need based on the length which we have of our adjacency list. Then we will do BFS traversal. Okay, here we'll start with empty array. Now let's start with 0. So we'll put this, we'll create our queue, dq, put 0 here and mark 0 as visited. Mark 0 as visited. And here we will run our loop till our queue becomes empty. So while queue, take the node out. So we'll do q dot pop left, we'll put in our BFS traversal, append node. Okay, then we will iterate its child, so or neighbor in adjacency node. If not visited, we will mark it as visited first. So visited neighbor true, and then we will put it in our queue or append neighbor. Then at the end we will return BFS traversal. Let's compile and run this, and our test case has successfully passed. Let's try to submit this question, and it is successfully accepted. Okay.